Okay, good afternoon, everybody. The program will commence in a moment. We still have 2 minutes to go. I'd like to firstly greet the moderator and also the speaker of today's sessions. Hello, Bu Murti Ayu. Mbak Ana.
Hello.
I'm so excited today.
Bu Ana.
Yeah, it's the most wanted sessions, for me. It's just like a reunion, to meet Bu Murti Ayu and Mbak Ana in the same screen. So how are you today, Mbak Ana?
Good. Good to see you all. Thank you for inviting me as the moderator.
Okay.
Ayu.
Kak Ana. You have to come here, Kak Ana.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, hopefully next time, for another program we can meet in person,
Okay.
Visit our university.
We'll be glad to.
Yeah.
We can have offline meeting now. Come on, just fly here.
But it's almost November, right? You know that? Okay.
Yeah.
So we still have 1 minute, by the way. So we better start at 2 sharp so we can still have a chat while waiting for more participants to join us today.
Okay. What shall I say? What shall I present then?
Of course, about quality. Okay, it's 2 sharp, so I'll open the session for today. Okay,
Ibu Dina, you have to consider those who join these should be students, not lecturers. Lecturers are not allowed.
Actually, this session actually is for students. But the lecturer, if they want to join, well, we're very happy to have them in our session today. Okay, welcome to the third series or third sessions of the online short courses in qualitative research held by International Office of Untirta. It's the last sessions, but I'll make sure it's not the least. In the first session, we had Dr. Doyle. He opened the series by discussing qualitative approach, as the umbrella research methodology. And in the second series, which was last week, Dr. Farah Shamsi shared with us about qualitative data collections. So to close the series, today, Dr. Murti Ayu Wijayanti will share with us about qualitative data analysis. And Dr. Ana Tambunan, actually, Dr. Ana has a very long name, so I just use the first and the last, we'll share the session. Dr. Ana is from English Department of Universitas Negeri. Okay, Dr. Ana, the screen is yours, please.
Okay. Start now, Ibu Dina?
Yeah.
Okay, yes. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. First of all, I would like to welcome you to this online short course held by Universitas Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa. On this occasion, we would like to have a presentation from Dr. Murti Ayu Wijayanti, MPD. The topic is Qualitative Data Analysis. Well, before the presentation begins, allow me to introduce the speaker today. Ibu Murti Ayu is a permanent lecturer in English Department, Universitas Sultan Ageng Tirtayasa, Banten. She is actively writing the manuscripts for publication on qualitative studies. 2 of them are genre pedagogy to the teaching of academic writing in tertiary level and cognitive empowerment, which is published in Journal of English Language Studies. And the second one, I'm sorry, I've got something to do, a study of EFL learners refusal strategies, which is published in Journal of English Language and Culture. Well, without further ado, I would like to welcome the speaker to deliver her presentation. All right, Ibu Ayu, you have 45 minutes to deliver your presentation. Well, the microphone is yours, Ibu Ayu, please.
Thank you very much, Ibu Ana. It's such a weird thing I call you Ibu, Usually I call you Kak, Better calling you Kak so that you get you look younger, You are still, Okay. Okay, thanks a lot. It's such an honor to be here, to be the speaker of the third series, the series on qualitative research. And my turn is talking about how to analyze the data, qualitative data. And this is 2 p.m. and I'm going to talk about that. Such a blessing, yeah? Talking about qualitative data analysis in this very time, yeah? In this very time, 2 p.m. A great time to take a nap. All right, allow me to share my screen. All right, I'm choosing colorful PowerPoint. Hopefully it can wake you up, yeah. Okay, I'm going to start my presentation, but not really presentation actually. It is a kind of talk. Yeah, later on we are going to discuss about qualitative data analysis. But the first one, I'd like to know, because you have joined the sessions before. The first one is about what is qualitative research, qualitative research paradigm with Dr. Doyle, and the second one was with Ibu Vera Shamsi, about qualitative data collection. So I will be happy to know whether you still remember the things that have been taught by or presented by Dr. Vera Shamsi. Yeah? I will copy in the chat box. Wait. You just click the Slido link and then we can. Or you can scan the barcode. Yeah. So my dear students and also students from other universities, I think I see those who are coming from Unimed and also Matlaul Anwar. I do not know whether lecturers or students. You may click this Slido link, and then you can also scan the barcode to answer the question. Very simple question, only to remember, to remind you about the data collection methods in qualitative research that have been presented by Ibu Vera Shamsi. Let me go to the Slido first. Can you find the link? Can you get the link? Can you get to the website already?
Yeah, got it, Ibu. Got
okay,
it.
right. Wait. Let me present it. Okay, the question is, okay, mention the data collection methods in qualitative research. Mungkin ada yang kepencet yang kedua ini. Okay, the data collection methods in qualitative research. Not Korean drama later, that's Korean drama. The first poll is trying to find out whether you still remember how to collect the data in qualitative research. How the techniques, the way you collect the data. Yes, observation, all right. Others? Okay, still running. Interview, surveys, group discussions, observations, okay. 8 participants, we are still waiting for others. Oh, you still remember then. Very good. Budina, you're successful because the students still remember. Okay, and interview is getting bigger. Interview is getting bigger, meaning that many people wrote the same thing, wrote interview, yeah? Okay, 13. Or textual visual analysis, that's different from others before. And then, okay, document, interview is the biggest one. 13 students, we are still waiting. 1 more minute. Let me copy again the chat, in the chat, yeah? For those who just joined, you may click the link, the Slido link, and then go to the first question, yeah? Mentioning the data collection methods in qualitative research. Okay, 14 now. Okay, I think I have to close this pool since we have many things to talk later. Thank you very much for sending your responses. So we can see here the students they still remember the way to collect the data in qualitative research. Yeah, interview is the biggest one. It means most of them still understand this, and they write interview. Observation, interview, questionnaire, surveys, and questionnaire similar, and then group discussion. Interview is one by one, yeah, but then group discussion, interview in groups. Okay, let me share my presentation again. 15 students now. Okay, it's only for reminding us the way we collect the data in qualitative research. We have observation, that's the legend, yeah. When we do qualitative research, we do observation because that's the most the eligible data, the most eligible data that we have, very objective data when we do observation, and then interview, surveys, and then group discussion. That's only for reminding us. Now, this is the second one. Okay, I want to know, this is the example of the way we take the data, qualitative data. I want to know the response, your response. I don't know whether you like Korean drama or not, but I want to know, why do Indonesians like Korean drama? I want to know your opinion. Why do Indonesians like Korean drama? Why? Here, I'm going to play the second slider. Wait. Yes. Oh, okay. Some have answered, yeah. Why do Indonesians like Korean drama? You can answer now. Adakah yang baru gabung? I can copy the chat again. Okay, let's see the screen. Okay, some say the plot, physical beauty, handsome actors, okay, because the actor or actress, let's see, who is good looking and the plot is much more interesting, okay, because the storyline is so interesting, has good value. It's not too much, okay? All right. So, what about you, Kak Anna, Bu Anna? What do you think? Why Indonesians like Korean drama? You can also
handsome actors, maybe.
Okay. So some of the respondents say so. It's healing, okay, because the story and plot are good. Okay, do you believe that? We are talking about qualitative data. We are talking about people and then their beliefs, their concepts, their beliefs, and we see how it can be analyzed. Yeah. Okay, 15. We are still waiting. Do you have difficulties in joining Slido? You may also write down in the chat box if you want to. Yeah. Why do Indonesians like Korean drama? You may write down in the chat box. Let me see in the chat here. Okay, the plot is simple, not like Indonesian sinetron. The actor is handsome. Okay, thank you. You may also write down in the chat box if you think, if you want to. Okay. I don't know, ma'am. I don't like Korean drama. Okay, that's okay. Because of TV promotion. They are the color of their skin. Okay. 18. Come on, I'm still waiting. 30 more seconds. Okay. Oh, good plot twist. You cannot predict the ending, yeah. So there is a twist at the end of the movie. The plot is not easily predicted by the viewers. Okay. Who else wants to join? I also check the chat here. Good video quality, all right. Trends, because all people talk about Korean drama, and then maybe they also want to watch the movie. Okay. Okay, let's see the chat. Great cinematography. Okay, great. The plot is simple. Okay, I have read that before. Yeah. Okay, 20 from how many joining us? 95. Come on, because most of the topic is anti-mainstream, like the jobs. Okay, all right. Because for me, I love to see how the stories are developing characters, plot, and of course, they always have the books scene. Right. Okay, thank you. All right, I think I have to close this. Yeah, 22. 22 responses, 22 plus those who are writing in the chat. It's 27. The plot is unpredictable. It's fun to watch. Okay. All people are plastic. Okay, great actor and story. So here, when you see this, we call it as the data. We take the data, and here we are, the data. Yeah. When you see this is only one example. This is one question. You give question, open-ended question, and then this is the example of the data that you take. These are the responses from your respondent. And so what you are going to do with this? Yeah, bulk, maybe it's only one question. Maybe you distribute like 20 or more than 50 questions, but like open-ended questions, maybe not too many, yeah. But the answers are, bulk of data. So what you are going to do? Let's see. So when you see a lot of data, bulk of data that you gain, the second, the procedure you have done the procedure like collecting data, and then you get the data, and then you like silent, and you do not know what to do. Yeah. So how to analyze the data? Yeah, maybe we can have a cup of coffee first, because there are many things to do after this. You face the data and you do not know today. You just I have a cup of coffee. I'm very sad because I cannot have coffee ya, because I'm alone here. Harusnya luring ya tehnya, jadinya saya dapat kopi. So when you are facing data, you do not know what to do. So the first step is taking a cup of coffee. And okay, sorry, I'm kidding. But usually it works. So what to do? I'm taking the very simple one, because people think that analyzing qualitative data is not a piece of cake. It is not like an ABC. So I try to find the most simple one, and I found this. So the first one is becoming familiar with the data, and then coding into themes, searching for patterns and connections, and interpretation of the data. I'm going to go through one by one. Yeah. The first one is becoming familiar with your data. You have to know the data. If they are words, phrases, paragraphs, text, like we have got before. So no other way rather than read and reread, so that you know the connections. One thing is related to each other, for example. Okay, so we have to find out. We have to get familiar with the data. And if it is recording, if they are recordings, we have to listen to them many times. Sometimes, when we go to the analysis, and then we go to the first round, and then, okay, I found this, because we have to start and start again, read and reread, read again and read again, because we have to be very familiar. We have to get to know our data. But remember, we have to make sure the quality of the data. So we call it as sorting, yeah, data sort. Not all data can be used. Only qualified, yeah, the data which is qualified that we can take as the data, as the later for having the next analysis. And then the second step is coding into themes. You have written chapter 2. It's a literature review. You wrote down the theories underpinning the study, and then you also write down in chapter 3. You give example of data analysis technique. So remember, when you are going to do coding into themes, take the theoretical framework, take the theory. You cannot do coding if you do not know, if you do not have the tool. We call it as the tool, yeah, the theory as the tool to analyze the data. And then you start identify themes or category. It is not only labeling. It is not only labeling. This one is A, B, C, D. But you have to organize them into coherent categories. This is, I give example of my my research, the way I do coding, yeah, the way I do categorization, because it is printed. So and I don't think that colorful is not really helpful, yeah. Sometimes maybe it can be copied, and then if it is colorful, it won't be helpful. Therefore, I'm using like these are the kinds of processes. So I'm using italic if it is material process, and then I use underline if it is mental process. And then the question is, that's so detailed. That's why we call it, as it is not an A, B, C, but we can do it. Yeah. You have to spend, yeah, you have to invest the time to do this. And also you have to be very careful. Okay, that's coding. And then the third one, after we do coding, we search for patterns and connections. The patterns can be within categories. What are the similarities and differences in the way people respond? For example, when you see, do you still remember that we have gained the data why Indonesian people like Korean drama? The first one, we do coding, yeah. For example, I can go to the data again. Wait. Yeah. Okay. We can see this is only one category, yeah. So we can have it within category. We can see the variations of the answers from the respondents. The soundtrack is good. Okay, let us see whether we can find also the same thing. But the first time we can do coding, ya. Kita kembali lagi ke yang sebelumnya, ya. So we can say that probably this one is M, yeah, music, soundtrack is good. We can also have handsome actors, probably A, actors, handsome actors. And then we can see whether it is repeated. The frequency is also found in other responses. Okay, here, handsome face, yeah, actors. We have also this, find this, handsome actors. Okay, handsome and beautiful. So there is a repetition, there is consistency. We can see the pattern there. Oh, okay, so we can categorize that. Oh, why do Indonesians like Korean drama? One, because of the actors. Okay, and then we can also have another storyline. Okay, and then it's not too much or lebay. Let us put aside. I can assume that it is storyline. It is plot, yeah. But let's put aside first. And then, okay, storyline, again, plot. See, some students also wrote that. We can have another category. Why do Indonesians like Korean drama? Or because of the plot. So we see the connections there. Okay, let me go back. Yeah. That's within categories. And then we can also see patterns between categories. Okay, go to larger ideas and see how the parts relate to the whole. When we have many questions, we have this theme and probably we have sub-themes and different themes, we can connect to each other and see whether it relates to the whole. One part relates to the whole. Because that's searching for patterns and connection. And the last one is, let me share. Yeah. Why it's going back again? Okay, interpretation of the data. See, we come at the end of the way how to analyze the data. See, use the themes and connection to explain the findings. So begin to ask questions. What does it mean? What is important? We cannot just we cannot just write down like, okay, this one is that one, this one is that one. But we have to find out. We have to answer the questions. What does it mean? What is important? Okay, and things to remember in analyzing qualitative data. The first one is documentation for tracking choices. Sometimes you choose this and that. Remember to make documentation so that you still remember the reasons why you choose this. It is related to responsibility. Yeah, data sorting, data sampling. It is not sampling like in sampling in quantitative research. No, it's different. Yeah, and then another thing to remember is avoid generalizations because each is unique. Therefore, we do qualitative research, not quantitative research, because we want to know the uniqueness. We want to know the difference between one to another. When in quantitative, it can answer like whether something is effective or ineffective, whether something is working or not. In qualitative research, we want to know why something is working, in what situation is something is working. We cannot generalize. So one thing to remember in analyzing qualitative data is avoid generalizations. And then because here, for example, we take interviews, we also conduct a survey or questionnaire. So sometimes we take what people say, we quote, we take others say. So consider the anonymity. Make sure that their names are pseudonym. We do not put their names there. So we call confidentiality. We make sure that they are safe. Yeah, because sometimes it is not. Not sometimes. Yeah, we have to make sure that they are safe. They have given the informations, and we put their words in our final report. So we have to consider anonymity, their pseudonym. Do not write down their names. Yeah, sometimes we use A, B, C, respondent A, respondent 1, but do not write down their names. And then another thing to remember in analyzing qualitative data is address limitation. Let others know the problems of data collection and in analysis. Sometimes we have limitation. We are not angel, yeah. We also cannot change the word with our topic, yeah. Sometimes in the way we collect the data, in the way we analyze the data, we find problems. We find limitations. Therefore, it is very necessary to write down to address the limitations. Let others know the problems of our data collection and also analysis. And also we can provide an alternative. So it will be much better for the next researcher to do research on this and that, because this and that are our limitation. Yeah, actually that becomes the gap of our research for further research. And then another thing to remember, is involve others in data analysis. Sometimes we call it as information bias. Yeah, we tend to find data which matches our assumption. We tend to just put aside the data which is not in line with our assumption before. So to avoid this, it will be very good to involve others in analysis to avoid, as we call as researcher bias. This is one of the thing which is questioned by quantitative researcher. A positivism, they say that qualitative research is involving researcher bias is subjective because you talk about people, you are talking yourself. How do we know that it is not biased? So in doing analysis, we can involve others to avoid researcher bias. Okay, and I also found this. I think it's very easy to understand. This is to conclude, about the qualitative analytical process adapted from Strauss and Corbin, and also Miles and Huberman. It is very popular. I think most of us take this for the technique to analyze the data, data reductions, data display, conclusion, and verification. And these are the procedures in doing this. In data reductions, we do like what we have discussed before, like coding and categorization, abstraction, compare one and to another, and then dimensionalization, and then integration. Here, and also we do data display, whether it is in the form of table, graph, to show this is the result of the condensation, this is the result of the abstraction, this is the result of the categorization. And after that, we do like interpretation, conclusion, and verification. We go back to the data again to verify. And then the outcomes for description, and then here, when we go to the last procedure, we find explanation and then interpretation. And then the last, I also found this, I think it's very useful for those who are going to do observation. Sometimes observation is making us a bit crazy after you get the data. The data observation is, for example, it is in the teaching process. What do the teachers say? What does the teacher say, and then what does the teacher do, and then in the part of the students, what do the students say, respond, and then what do the students do? And then we've got a lot of data, a bulk of data, and what are you going to do after that? So here are the strategies for analyzing observation. We can do like chronology, describe what was observed chronologically over time, tell the story, okay, from the beginning to the end. So that's by time order. And then key events, describe critical incidents or major events, not necessarily in order for occurrences, but in order of importance. What is highlighted? What is the thing probably which is beyond your expectation? And then various settings, describe various places, site settings, or location in which events or behaviors of interest happen. And then you can also describe people, individuals, those who are involving in the events. And then process, describing important process. And then also you can go to the issues, illuminating key issues. How did participants change, from the beginning to the end when you observe them? Okay, and I think that's all of my presentation. I will be very happy to have your comments. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Ibu Ayu, for the informative and exciting talk. All right. Well, I'm really sure for most of us are still very difficult to analyze the data, especially a person like me, which is well, a long time ago I focused on the quantitative studies. So qualitative study is new for me actually, but I learned a lot from some speakers dealing with this qualitative studies. Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the question and answer session. When you have any questions, you may write your questions in the chat box, or you may ask directly by raising your hand. Okay, I see one, Ibu Ayu, in the chat box.
Okay.
Ahmad from Untirta. The question is, what is the best way to analyze qualitative data? Do we need to do all those procedures or just related with the data we took in the research? Ibu Ayu, please.
Okay. Shall I answer directly?
Directly, I think, because there is no more questions. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. The best way to analyze, I think you have answered, yeah, or just related with the data. Yeah, it should be very related, but it is a procedure. So you need to find out, you need to decide what procedure of analyzing data that you take. There are many experts who propose many theories, many steps to analyze the data. Take one, which is related to the data you take from the research. But that's procedure, yeah. Do not jump. The most important thing is the first step is very much important. The first step, you know the data, and then remember the theoretical framework, the theory as the tool of analysis, and you go to the coding, and then go to the finally at the end is interpretation. I think we need to follow the procedure, choose the procedure that that it is related to the data. I hope I answer the question.
Yeah. Or it I think depends on the data as well, right,
Yes.
Ibu Ayu, right? How to analyze the data. Okay, thank you, Ibu Ayu. There is one question in the chat box from Dwiki Segara from Untirta. I would like to ask Mem Ayu, or your student, if my focus in gathering the data is why do people like XXXX, 4X, yeah, is large size, very large size. Okay. Should I also include the data which implied the opposite? They don't like XXX because the answer isn't give me a data for my question to know why people like XX. I don't know if this even makes sense. I hope it does.
Okay. I think the weekend needs to have iced coffee, yeah. All right, but thank you very much. Yeah, sometimes we have answer which is not answering our question. Yeah, we've got answer from respondents which is not answering our question. For example, when the question is why do blah 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 like, but then we found one of the responses is even I don't like that. How even it is not answering at all. We can save it. Yeah, we can save it later. Actually, that's the uniqueness of qualitative research. Yeah, we can explain, we can describe, which is not what is it? Sometimes it is not. It is beyond pattern. Yeah. Therefore, when we formulate the questions, we have to be very careful. We need to do like mitigation. What if the respondents answer no? Even though my question is why, yeah, why should be answered by reasons, right? But then sometimes the answer I cannot answer the why because I don't like it. So the previous question should be answering whether you like it or not. Okay, if you like mentions, you have to mention why. So that's period. Yeah. So we have to formulate the question.
The question.
Very much. Yes.
Okay. Yes.
I think Agus Unma.
The third, this is the third question, Ibu Ayu, from Universitas Matla. Pak Agus, yeah. Based on your experience, what attracts you to do qualitative research compared to the quantitative?
I like the question.
Yeah. Okay. Based on your experience, Ibu Ayu.
Yeah. Very simple answer actually, because quantitative research cannot answer many questions. I have many questions. I want many answers from respondent. I want to know deeper. I want to know more what happened. because I believe one person is different to another. I cannot generalize all. Therefore, I choose qualitative research. That attracts me more rather than quantitative research, because I can only, if I do quantitative research, I will stop to the hypothesis, whether hypothesis is rejected or accepted, but I cannot gain more why it is accepted, in which way this is accepted or this is rejected. Therefore, I go with qualitative research.
So yeah, it can imply that doing qualitative research, you may get a more depth understanding and
Yes.
Investigation, yeah, Ibu Ayu, yeah.
Yes, even though people will say like, it's complicated when we go to the analysis. Yeah, students avoid a qualitative research because they will deal with words. The scripts will be more pages rather than quantitative. They think
right.
So.
Yeah. Okay, you're right, Ibu Ayu. Okay, if Abdul Aziz from Untirta, is there any structure or step in making a description of our research? I mean, like the headline or supporting idea.
I don't know what it means. Steps in making a description of our research. Oh, whether your study is taking what design? Does it mean? Does it mean like this? I don't know if as this means about the description of our research, whether our research is case study or maybe content analysis. So we have to give like justification why we choose case study. For example, because I only observe a certain phenomenon. For example, I want to find out the depth more on this rather than generalizing. So I choose case study. So when you choose something, remember to justify. I always say to my students, they cannot answer just, why do you love him? Yeah, because I love him. No, you cannot. You have to mention the reasons why you love him. One, because he's loyal. One, because he's handsome. Okay, so when the students choose their research method, they have to give justification, not because of the trend. Yeah, not because of, yeah, you know, this one is easier rather than another design. Itu kata orang aja. But when it comes to the reason, all is complicated. Okay.
Yeah, another question, Ibu Ayu from Untirta.
Masih banyak pertanyaan, ya Allah, udah siang-siang loh.
Dina. Yes. Okay.
Actually, Ayu, we still have plenty time for discussion. So.
Oh my God. Okay. Nobody gives me coffee.
Husna Nadia, Ibu Ayu. She asks, how do you find the use of software or application like N5O in analyzing the qualitative data?
Okay, thank you for the question. We are now in the time of technology. Yeah? Even we think that it is very subjective, because we as the researcher, we collect the data and then we find a bulk of data, what to do with the data, and then there is a savior, there is a technology, as for example, and 5, I don't know how to mention it. I think each application has its shortcoming, yeah, and its advantages. The advantage of N5O, for example, it can go with a lot of data that sometimes we give up, yeah. But the shortcoming is like, you know, emotional. We are detached from the you know, because the data is processed by we call it as this application. We sometimes lose of the emotional bound, yeah. Therefore, but I haven't tried. I only tried once, but not full, yeah. Maybe later I will try once. But so far I'm using myself I'm using myself. Thank you anyway for the question.
Yeah, sometimes technology may help, yeah, but sometimes, well, sometimes it is not satisfied. It can, yeah, it depends on the data, I think.
Yes,
Or
sure. It depends on the
the
data.
researchers.
But
Okay.
it's really helpful if the data, if you've got a lot of data.
Yeah. Mhm. Okay. So if there is, I think it is from Pa Agus again, yeah.
Okay, it's okay.
Yeah. So how if there only one respondent? It can be can it be continue or stop because not enough source?
Okay, that
Only one
makes,
participant maybe.
yeah, that makes it different. This research is different from quantitative research. Even when you are conducting a study to one respondent, it's okay.
It's
Yeah.
okay, right?
Yeah, like a case study, one student, one a baby.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe we can use the narrative inquiry.
yes, exactly.
Phenomenological case study, maybe. Yeah? Only
Yes.
one participant.
Yeah. What makes it different from quantitative research is the sampling. Yeah. We do not use sampling. One person is one respondent. They can give information. He or she can give information. So it's okay, Pak Agus.
Yeah, it is again from Untirta. I think your student are you from Risa Rizkita Putri. How do you know the theories could strongly supports our data? Because I still have difficulty in knowing about the theories that could support the data. Oh, okay. Yes, please, Ibu Ayu.
Yeah, thank you. From the very first time, we have to write down the theory underpinning our study.
Right.
Yeah, from the very first time. You know, sometimes our students, they get lost when they go to chapter 4, Kana. So when they go to the chapter 4, they forget chapter 2. They have to get back to chapter 2. Actually, they write down about the theories. So take it again. To support the data, right? Because sometimes they just put the data without being supported by any theories, by previous studies. So it's a kind of, it's a need a lot of practice actually. When you got the data, you present it. Well, actually, it is a kind of presentation, data presentation, I guess. When the data have been analyzed and then the students have presented the data, they need to support the data that they get with the theory. So you get back to the chapter 2. Therefore, chapter 2 should be very detailed. It is not about the talk of one researcher, one theories and another theories. It's not a list of experts, no, but you do like interaction between one theories with another theories and also the previous studies. Yeah. It's I think it's a homework. I think among lecturers we know it, how the students relate the data with the theories.
Yeah, right. I think there are still many questions, Ayu. Please be patient because we still have time from Untirta again. I'm interested in having recommendation on what's the trending topic for recent qualitative research. I mean, I think the design maybe, Ayu, yeah. The design for the
trending topic for
trending topic.
But for qualitative research, you can go Googling, yeah.
Quick response.
Okay. A very magical answer, yeah. Because okay, talking about trend, it means which are available now, right? So which can provide trends if it is not technology. You can make use the technology to find out, just write down the qualitative studies in language learning, for example, and you can make a context, give a context in Indonesia or for EFL learners, you can give context and you will know the trend, of qualitative study in English learning, English language teaching. Frankly speaking, I really encourage my students to do qualitative studies because there have been studies on quantitative in the last years, previous years, and I really encourage my students to do qualitative studies, not only perceptions, but go deeper, how things are explored, are exploited rather, not only perceptions. I really encourage my students to do that, and I always convince them that it is not difficult, but really difficult. No. But we can have it together.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Not difficult if we want to learn.
Yes, sure. you have experienced that.
Yes. Okay. From Nugraha Untirta, what is the best way to state and test whether the qualitative data analysis is scientific or not?
Okay. All right. Maybe we do not say it as scientific, whether it is trusted, probably, whether the analysis is trusted, whether it can we can believe that the data is trusted or not. Yes. One of the tool or one of the weapon of qualitative researcher is triangulation. One of the weapons. Sometimes quantitative researchers say, how do you convince us whether your analysis can be trusted or not? So one of the weapons is by using triangulation. It can be you can say, I'm using multiple methods. I'm using also I'm asking somebody, or it can be those who are experts to do like judgment, do like evaluation on my analysis, so that the analysis can be said as trusted.
Yeah. I think there is no more questions. Okay. Yes, there is no more questions. All questions are done. Well, I think that's enough for this presentation and questions and what is that question and answer session. Well, ladies and gentlemen, now we come to the end part of the presentation again. I want to thank to Ibu Ayu as the speaker today for the informative and interesting talk, and to the audience for active participation. I'm really sure this presentation is beneficial for everybody. Thank you for your attention and good afternoon. Back to you, Ibu Dina. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Mbak Ana. Yeah, it's awkward for me to say Bu Ana as well, to address Mbak Ana as Bu Ana. Yeah. I call her Mbak Ana or Kak Ana. Okay, thank you once again, Mbak Ana and Bu Murti Ayu, for a very insightful presentations. I believe, the students really learn a lot from your presentation. So as a token of appreciations, me as the coordinator of the program, we would like to hand over the digital certificate to our today presenter, to Ibu Dr. Murti Ayu Wijayanti. Thank you very much for your contributions to our program.
Thank you very much.
And then second, to our moderator, Dr. Anna Tambunan, for the contributions and also for the willingness in participating in our program.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you all to all participants for joining this course from the first to the last sessions today. We hope we can meet again in the next short course series in the next semester. But don't forget, we still have our international office of Untirta still have plenty of programs such as short course, not short course series. What is it? Pak Mikro is here. Research talk. Yeah,
research talk.
Yeah, research talk, and another program such as a visiting scholar program and guest lecture program. So make sure you join our next program. And thank you once again. I'll see you in the next program. Bye. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam
wabarakatuh.
warahmatullah. Thank you very much, Kak Ana. Thank you. Say hi also to our friends here.
Ibu Intan juga di sini.
Harsis,
Yeah.
Thank you.
From UPI is here. There is Pak Handi, Bu Ayu, and also Bu Isrina.
Oh my God, why they didn't tell me?
From City STKIP Siliwangi. A lot of friends are here today. From Lampung as well, yeah.
Okay. Our friends are also here. I do not know why they come here, yeah. Bu Rosma, Bu Harsi.
Hello. I'm watching you, Murti Ayu.
Okay, for the next short course series, this is Bu Arsi,
Later I can take a revenge, yeah, when you become the presenter this November.
Indonesia
Yeah.
Talk.
I will watch you.
Okay.
Mana iya teh Kak Intan ada ya?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, bye
iya,
all.
ada TI-in juga. Oh my God, this is reunion.
Ya, Bapak Dina. Thank you ya, Din. Thank you ya, Yu.
Yes, my pleasure. Thank you, Kana.
Ya.
I really hope to see you in person, ya.
Okay, I will.
Pamit ya, Budin.